What's up, you guys? It's your boy Trippy. So not that long ago, I made a video on how I think Jan Blachowicz can beat Israel Adesanya at UFC 259. And let me just say that a lot of you Stylebender fans, you Israelites, yes, I called you Israelites, weren't so happy with my video and demanded that I make a video basically explaining how Israel Adesanya can win. And so here's that video. So shut up and enjoy it. Thank you very much. So when you look at the fight on paper, you can tell that Israel Adesanya is longer and taller than Jan Blachowicz by a few inches. And so that leads right into his main way of defeating Jan Blachowicz, is on the outside. Israel Adesanya is a much better striker, and he's a technical striker, meaning basically the guy focuses on his defense more than he focuses on his offense. A lot of you guys didn't agree with that statement, but he does. He's even said it. He'd much rather not get hit than make a stupid mistake that will cost him the fight. He's not interested in a slugfest, pretty much. He's as technical a striker as you can get in MMA. But although he has great defense, he also has great offense. He's a fantastic kicker, and he's also a fantastic counterpuncher. That's probably his main way of success, is his counterpunching. That's one thing that Jan Blachowicz cannot do in this fight, is to try and hunt down Israel Adesanya recklessly. I mean, just ask Robert Whittaker. A great path to victory that Stylebender can use is to use those kicks to tear up that lead leg of Jan Blachowicz, which I feel like he will do. Playing it safe, kicking the body and kicking the leg, and making Jan Blachowicz eat jabs anytime that he tries to enter in that distance to land a big punch. Israel Adesanya can also handle himself in the clinch. And another thing is that he's also has great takedown defense. I believe that he has like 95 or 90% takedown defense. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I'm sure that y'all let me hear it in the comments. But one thing that's not so good about Jan Blachowicz is that he tends to fight at a really slow pace, and Israel Adesanya thrives in that game. If you don't enter in on Israel Adesanya, if you don't come forward on Israel Adesanya, you've seen what he's done to the fighters that chose to do that. I mean, there's a few ways that you don't fight Israel Adesanya. Obviously, like Robert Whittaker. I mean, Robert Whittaker went at it like so stupid. I mean, that's probably the most reckless way that you can fight him. The other bad way is to do what Yoel Romero did, or mostly do not do what Paulo Costa did. I mean, that's probably equally as stupid. His game plan was just absolutely retarded. And speaking of that, did you guys see his excuses for why he lost the fight? I mean, come on now. If Jan Blachowicz fall into that trap that Israel Adesanya's last two opponents did, the illusion of inaction, if he waits for Israel Adesanya to make a mistake and come in on him, it's going to be a long, long night. Because that's the thing. When Israel has his space, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He will pick you apart with those kicks and those jabs and just tear you apart from the outside until basically he will force you to make an error. And once you make a big mistake against him, that's pretty much the fight. Not to mention, Israel Adesanya is much faster than Jan. He's going to make Jan look real slow out there. I feel like that will be a massive way to victory, is to go out there and make Jan Blachowicz miss and kind of frustrate him. Making Jan shoot in for maybe some reckless takedowns, even though that's not really what Jan does. He doesn't really do a lot of reckless things. So you can expect a high-end chess match, and that is what Adesanya is going to thrive at, essentially. That is probably what's going to win him this fight. If he can neutralize Jan Blachowicz's offense with the kicks, with the elusiveness, with the footwork, with the head movement, he has a great chance of winning this fight. And if he can also stuff all of Jan Blachowicz's takedown defense, because let's be honest, or takedowns, let's be honest, Jan's going to shoot maybe once or twice. I can honestly see it happening. He's going to shoot to try and stop that movement of Israel Adesanya. Will he be able to take Izzy to the ground? That's tough. I don't know, because Israel has been so perfect with his takedown defense in the past. But if we see it happen, can Israel spring back up? But if he does, man, this will be a long, tough fight for Jan Blachowicz. So if I'm honest, I don't really see a sequence where Israel Adesanya finishes Jan Blachowicz. I feel like if anybody gets finished in this fight, I feel like it'll be Jan finishing Adesanya by KO or TKO. That's one way that I can see it happening. I mean, don't get me wrong, Israel can always land that perfect shot on Jan's chin and put him down, but I don't see it happening. I see Israel Adesanya dancing around him, making him eat kicks, making him eat jabs, tearing up that lead leg, tearing up that body, and countering Jan Blachowicz and picking him apart in the middle if it gets to that point, basically embarrassing him and coasting him his way to a pretty comfortable decision win. And there you go. That is how I think Israel Adesanya can beat Jan Blachowicz. So tomorrow, I'm going to make an official breakdown of what I think is actually going to happen fight night. So pretty much a full card breakdown or a main card breakdown, because the card is pretty long and it's pretty stacked. I don't want to make an hour-long YouTube video, but